We're live, and
Oh, all right.
we don't run the credits until at least one person hops in. It's always one person that comes in.
And they left right away. I love it. I love it.
Oh man, another week in quarantine.
It's still April. It's still April. April 20 something. Sometime in the month of April, in the after.
It's a post 420.
Post 420. Post 420. Beards are still growing. Haircuts still not had.
Still not had, man.
Welcome to the Mid-Geek crisis. Year 500 in isolation.
Oh my God! Let's
just kick it off.
Let's just go. Look at that right off the bat. 10 people in.
Hey, thanks for watching, friends and fans of the show.
Welcome to episode 74. We're at 74, man. And I don't even remember what the title is because all it is I've got the same four walls in Animal Crossing. So it's probably Animal Crossing based at the moment. That's for sure.
I'm in trouble because I actually do this where I play and where I work. So I feel like I'm just going to install a bathroom right over here and then be done. I don't have to ever leave the nerd bunker. I'm just stuck down here forever and ever.
Man.
Yeah, turn it up. Turnip for what? Yes, I like that, sibling streamer. Good pun. You play the turnip market, right?
Yes, very much so.
Welcome aboard, Adam, friend of the show. Also, welcome to the collective. You are a new member of the CoinOp Collective, Adam. He's been producing and giving us technical credit forever. It's been fantastic.
Rolls. Thank you so much for that reference. Some trading places. Reference frozen concentrate orange juice. Yeah, man. Talk about a weird adulting game.
Dude, there are markets now. I was just reading about this markets out there for buying things and trading things.
Yeah. So the one I use.
You use one?
Oh yeah, man. I have a couple of apps.
When does it stop being fun?
Oh, it's a blast. I'm having a blast. That's the best part.
I was having a blast too until I realized people are literally selling animals off their island to live on other people's islands.
So this is
saying that out loud makes it sound horrible, doesn't it?
So this is the site that I use, Turnip Exchange.
Of course.
Ones. And look, let me tell you, my experience of this was a couple weeks ago. I tried it out. I had a bunch of turnips, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, my island has got it for like 400. Come and sell." So I went to his. And then he messaged me later. He goes, "Hey, this website, Turnip Exchange, you should check it out." He goes, "I'm going to put mine on there and see what it is." And so the way it works is you post your island.
It's crazy. I'm with you, Haley. It's completely wild. I don't know.
It's metagaming within the game, right? So
it doesn't seem fun to me, but go ahead. Sell me on. First of all, I don't do turnips, right? I bought one to get the ant and then I'm done. Because it's gambling, but now the community has gotten together to fix it. So now it's not gambling anymore. It's literally Wall Street. All you do is insider trade with your friends.
It is stocks. I mean,
it's not stocks if you know exactly what the price is because you find a price to sell it at. It's horrible.
The algorithm is being changed by Nintendo constantly.
It's stocks.
It's stocks. So the way it works is I went on this page and mine were selling for like 400, but it's only before noon. So it's before noon, afternoon. So my high price is in the morning.
Welcome, Kendo.
So at 10 a.m. I went on there and I put my island up there and I created a code and then I put on there, "Hey, I'm looking for gold nuggets and rusted parts. Those are the things that I'm looking for because I'm trying to build that robot. And come on down, So sure enough, I added to the queue, and you started seeing people connect. And then I just sit there and docked, and people walked into my island, and as a tip, they drop a gold piece and then run off and then sell a bunch of stuff. So the fun part was, you're kind of creating this friend list of people, And sometimes people come in and they do zany stuff, and they,
Sure.
Of course, antics can be had. Don't leave stuff out on your island. You can place things, but if you drop things,
they'll pick it up.
Drop things can be picked up. So leaving money, gold nuggets, etc., on the ground can be picked up by anybody. It doesn't matter if they're best friends or not. But if you
be like, oh, it's a gift, thank you.
Can't be moved. So setting up maybe like a fence or something. People have been moving their store closer to the airport.
I saw that. Yep.
It in.
I'm sorry. People don't have the store close to the airport.
Yeah.
That's exactly how my island is, and I don't play the stonks, right?
Well, I mean, mine wasn't, but I didn't like my location. Yeah, so by hiring turnip bouncers, that's right. Yeah. So that's the way it's working, man. People dropping stuff, and it's gotten nice because if I'm looking for something like gold nuggets, I'm like, hey, you're going to make a couple million in a second, because I know you bought 4,000 turnips. Dropping a gold nugget or two isn't going to cost you anything.
Sure.
If you have any extra. And sure enough, people are doing it. Like people are saying, hey, I'm looking for this type of fabric, or I'm looking for this.
Does it not suck just a little bit of the fun out of Animal Crossing? Like the fun is in the grind. So making a million stonks in a second, and
it's no different than Pokemon.
I again, Pokemon's about the grind in my mind. What do you do? You trade in Pokemon?
Yeah, back in the day, man. You'd go to school, you'd bring your link cable, I'm
sorry, back in the day for you was when?
Late high school, people were on their Game Boy.
What year? Because I think I was in college and I was not trading Pokemon, right?
I'm so sorry, Mister.
No, I just think there's a generational difference, right? Like
maybe, but I mean, we're talking about
like all of a sudden having 1 million credits. It makes the game easier, and for me at least, might suck the fun out of.
It doesn't
purchasing things.
Having tons of money doesn't really change anything in the game. I've got 18 mil in the bank,
so now it's worth nothing.
But what it does is it just allows me to buy what I want. But honestly, I still need miles. I still can't find things. Your store doesn't stock anything. So like my store just got upgraded because it hit the 30-day mark. So it now got it's the bigger one. Yep. All it did was add one more item to my store in the back. But I'm still not getting everything I want. It's not like I can go in there and pull up a list of 1 million items and just buy it. And then half the good items require miles. And miles is a commodity that you have to do. The only way you can get it is
good item being the robot.
What's that?
The good items being the robots.
Well, the robot was 5,000 miles to buy, but that's only the recipe. And then after that, you have to get all the other stuff to build it. And the other stuff can't be bought at the store. So they require 30 gold nuggets, requires 30 rusted parts, requires a gold armor. It requires
the rusted parts you get from Gulliver, right? I already have a ton.
You get communicator parts, and Mr. Kendo over here gave us this tip, or sent me this tip earlier, that if you collect all 5 pieces to Gulliver, but then don't turn them in,
easy tip,
and they turn into rusted parts, which I didn't know.
Just like if you don't sell your turnips and they rot, they attract the ants.
The ants. So again, it's Nintendo knew this was going to happen. Nintendo knew this was going to happen. Like they knew that. So what they've done is they've set these limits on purpose. While yes, you can break the game with money, they've made it so that you can't buy everything up front. For example, I can't go to Tom Nook and say, I've got 5 million. I'm just going to build up everything all at once. You can't.
You got to wait the day. But I guess
you got to wait the day.
I guess it's a different kind of. Is the joy in the game buying everything you want, or is the joy in the game earning the thing you want? Right.
But I earned it. I earned it. I didn't break the game. The game.
No. You invited a bunch of people and had them drop gold and parts that you needed to build the thing you wanted, or you sold stonks to get the
But
millions
that's
of bells.
No different than having friends that would have given it to you anyway. What I'm saying is,
I don't like that. Right? You know this about me. I don't like when people just drop shit on me and then I can't earn any of that play experience. Right? You know that about me.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm just curious. I'm not doing it. That's the great part about Animal Crossing. You just don't.
You're not doing it that way.
There's no.
A lot of people
right
are
or wrong way. Unless you time travel, that's wrong.
Time travel is wrong. What I will say though is that
it's not Kendo, please.
Time traveling, they've made it interesting because Nintendo left it in the game so that you can still do it, but there are repercussions. For example, turnips you can't do. If you have any turnips on your island and you time travel, they will all rot.
That makes sense. It's kind of two different agendas, right? You earn all the bells and then you time travel to build, and then you earn all the bells and then you time travel to build. I get the optimization of it. Yeah, Kendo, as long as you're having fun, I'm having a blast. My kiddo's having a blast, right? I think a lot of the reason why I don't bother with any of that is because my kid plays on my island. So optimizing my island, creating all that stuff. I mean, she terraforms all the time. I come in and my whole place looks different. And right now her big thing is tearing down all my money trees, which cracks me up. She just loves taking all the money.
Yep.
Yeah, to each their own. That's right.
Oh man. Yeah, no, so the game, I think the game itself has become Nintendo knows what they're doing. That's all I'm getting at is.
And Simply Streamer, if you need that ironwood dresser, I have it. I can build it for you if you just
you want him to earn it though, right?
He can't. I mean, he can earn it by visiting. If he wants it, I have it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's the fun of the game, I think.
I was so excited when it dropped for me. I was thrilled. I have the ironwood sink. Oh, you want to make the ironwood sink as well? Yeah, I have the dresser. I don't have a cutting board. If you have a cutting board, we can trade. Right?
Yeah, I have there's tons of things I don't have. And that's what I'm saying. Is you can only get it by traveling to other people's or waiting for it to eventually show up in your store. But what's been great is saying, hey, I've got this in my store today. Oh, let me go to your island. And then you go to their island and then you realize, oh, wait, you've got this type of flower that I don't have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I get it. It's encouraging you to visit islands. It's the weird secondary economy that's occurred around it that I'm like weirded out by.
But
like,
every game has had it. Any online game has had it.
No, I know.
Diablo
it just
had it. World of Warcraft has it.
It seems so not Nintendo.
I know.
That's the thing that I guess that's what weirds me out about it.
It's kind of nice. But let's talk about Nintendo and their way of life. Sure. Nintendo has been very different as of late. The Switch kind of changed things. Actually, I take it back. If people weren't paying attention, they changed the way that they were doing things with the Wii U. With Splatoon, I've talked about this before. Splatoon was their first like ever evolving game. Yep. It was this game that launched very small, very few levels. And they just kept adding content, events, DLC content. And so by the time year and change happened, you had this completely new game that, again, isn't the game that came on the disc. But at the same time, it's a completely different game. Animal Crossing is like that right now. It's an ever-evolving world. ARMS was like that. They kept dropping content. Nintendo just announced the third update for Mario Maker. The Mario Maker Update 3 is adding whole new content to the game, whole new game modes, things that it could have been a whole DLC, but it's free. It's just an update.
So the World Maker, which I'm like, holy cow, now you can make Super Mario Brothers 3.
You can make a whole world. So you can make 8.
Spectacular.
You can now make Super Mario Maker you can now have gameplay like Mario 2. So you can now pick up the Mario 2 mushroom, which changes Mario to be like Mario 2 style. They added worlds, which is amazing because you can now have 8 worlds with multiple levels. So you can make a whole Mario
content
game.
If your creators can make content for you, right? And you just offer the platform and folks create the content. That's awesome.
Which is amazing. And again, very non-Nintendo. It's very different for them to just keep going. Smash Brothers is also one of those games where the content is still coming. New levels, new weapons, new whatever, new costumes, etc. So Nintendo is kind of making these living games now. Almost every game they've released has been kind of like this is the game we're getting right now, but it's not the game that we're going to be playing in a year from now. And
they're finally catching up with everyone else or doing it their way.
Doing it their way. I think
is the best way to put it.
I'm not saying that other people knew. A bad example of this is like Fallout 76.
No, they finally added stories and
right. But that's what I'm saying. A year and change afterwards, you now get at least a base game.
Yeah, they had a vision for something that was never going to work, which is player-created content in a Fallout game with PvP. Like, why do designers keep thinking that's going to work? I don't know. EVE Online, I guess, was successful, but that was a really small community, and PvP allows for I don't know. Hopefully, they get there. Yep, Division was like that. Destiny was like that. Sea of Thieves is that. I mean, I know you keep trying to get me to play it.
That space game. What is it? The one that you picked up when it finally came out on Xbox. Make your world, explore, fly off into space. The very quiet one. The very
Space Minecraft.
What is it called? Space Minecraft. Yeah. What's it called?
Now I can't even think of it. Skyward Sky. No. Stars.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. That's it.
There we go. That's a game that bombed, but only got better with time.
So that's a game that bombed because of its
expectations
in time.
And
you know what? It delivers those expectations now. My only frustration with it, and I need to go back and check, is that hard code mode allowed PvP.
They've added even more since.
It's intense now, and it might be too intense now. Like it's one of those games that if you don't get in at the right time, the learning curve is too high. So I'm gonna have to see if I could do it. Once I got to freighters, I was very confused. And then in hardcore mode, I fell through my freighter because of a bug, and I was like, "My guy's dead, and it's not even a good story. I just." My ship ejected me out, and it was like 70, 80 hours of gameplay on hardcore mode, and I'm like, why? So yeah, Animal Crossing. Speaking of Animal Crossing, let's get hyped for the update. Let's get hyped for that update now.
So I know we were coming right back to Animal Crossing, but Animal Crossing announced again. We're talking about ever living worlds, and right now the game of our time at the moment, the game of the coronavirus, the game of the COVID-19.
It's the Fortnite of 2020. Right?
The Fortnite of 2020 is Animal Crossing, and they've again
shrubs. I know, Kendo. I don't want to lie, Kendo. I was pretty excited about the shrubs.
The wife saw it too. She was like, "Shrubs." The first thing she does is she turns to me and goes, "You're gonna have to rearrange some of your island to fit some of this stuff." And I'm like, "I know."
That's so sad for you. See, the nice thing is I haven't done anything on my island, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah, no, I've enjoyed it. So I'm at this point,
I'm excited for the expansion to the museum because my daughter and I visit the museum all the time. It's one of
the. You're gonna have to. One part of the game is going to be Red. You're going to be dealing with Red, and Red is
he's the shady one, right?
He's the shady one that you might get some fake paintings.
That's fine. Then they go up in a house. Maybe we'll create another museum. It's fine. Look at that beautiful. Look at these beautiful works of art. I'm so excited for it.
Look at this great pathway. I didn't even think about that. Putting the shrubs in the middle.
Dude,
it's great. I'm gonna do that.
Look, there's like sculptures, Michelangelo. And
yeah. So the events that are coming. Of course, the first one is the Earth or Nature Day, is what they're calling it.
Goodbye fence, hello shrubs. That's right. Nature Day.
They're killing it. They're killing it. Yeah.
We got the money. I'm gonna have to start playing the turnip market to donate to the museum. I'll be like a real.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. See, they know they're gonna add things. May Day. So here's this May Day ticket, which is interesting. I'm intrigued what that means.
Looks like a scavenger hunt kind of thing.
Kind of like a special island.
Yeah.
Look at this International Museum Day. So it looks like you're gonna have to collect stamps by going and reading the museum.
My kid's gonna be thrilled about this too. This and wedding, she's gonna be so excited for it.
Yeah, so this wedding looks like it's they're renewing vows. These are two characters from previous,
It's awesome.
Wait, awesome. Are Splatfest coming back? Is that a thing? I'm sorry, that was Splatfest are coming back. Is that a Splatoon 2? Was that announced, or was that is that just speculation? Did I miss a piece of news from Nintendo?
Nintendo's like, Disney's not dropping movies, no new stuff.
No new stuff. Here you go. And they totally did it again without
all the way to June. Here you go. Have something to look forward to. Let's enjoy the future. There will be a future. That's what they're telling us. Oh, come on, Rolls.
And now attending weddings.
That's fair.
I'm being told, producer, I'm being told to look at the Nintendo's Twitter to see about the Splatoon thing. If you can find anything, that'd be great. I'd be excited. Again, that's a game that it lasted over a year of updates, over a year of Splatfests. Once a week, they would do kind of like a, hey, this versus this, come on here and play, new maps, new kind of thing. And at the year mark, they said, here's the final Splatfest. And it was kind of sad to see a game that had so much life, but then it was like Nintendo went, nope. And if Nintendo just decides to go, oh yeah, we're going to do some more stuff. Here's some more content for you for this game. That's great. Again, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
What? Look at that. Join the Discord official, like Nintendo using like third-party chat rooms. Look at this. Nintendo's all hip and cool now. Oh, so the first one's going to be Team Ketchup versus Team Mayo, huh? Okay.
This is an important fight.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with Splatoon and the way it works, so you're new to the whole Nintendo Switch, Wii U. The Splatoon it's an ink game, like fighting game, like 4-on-4 kind of awesome like shooting game, and it's actually pretty competitive yet very accessible by anybody. But what they do is they like to pick certain things like chocolate or peanut butter or and then you go on there and you join the team. And when you join the team at the beginning of the week, you get like a T-shirt with that item. And then once you're on that, you're fighting. As you play matches, the more matches you win, you're adding to the winning side to that. You know,
what other game company? I feel like there was another company that did that. I know PAX East does that, right? You pick Gabe or Tycho at the PAX East experience.
Right. And PAX does that Gabe versus Tycho thing. There's a few other things that have done this.
A few other games that have events like that go on like that. That's great. I mean, what would we have done in this social isolation without video games, right? This would have been much, much harder to get through, I think.
I read an article somewhere that said gaming's up 40%. like 40% all around.
Like daytime gaming is up 40%.
Yeah, like just in general, like the amount, like the server load on all gaming and internet and everything else.
This makes sense to me.
It's like 40% higher than normal, which is that's what we got to do, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've been outside a few times.
This is lies. Mayo is life. I'm sorry, mayo is delicious.
Wait, I'm sorry. Sibley Street does not like mayonnaise. That's a weird hill to die on. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That's a weird.
I like ketchup, but if it's honestly, I know the topic was just brought up. Ketchup versus mayo, I'd choose mayo. I like ketchup, but ketchup is a little sugary. I like spicy, so like mayo can be savory. It can be, there's lots of things.
I'm gonna get really nerdy. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna get really nerdy for a minute. I love my producer. I love him so much.
Good job, Rolls. You can play his odd job today.
Here's something interesting, right? Ketchup used to be a like barbecue sauce. It used to be a thing that everyone had a passionate feeling on and had their own personal recipe. And Heinz kind of just destroyed the market, right? So now all we have is that sweet high fructose red stuff that we put on our food. That's awful.
What's interesting is Heinz now has a Simply one. Have you tasted that one? The Simply tomato or Simply.
Is it like the less preservatives?
Well, yeah, it's what it is. So it'll go bad. So it needs to be refrigerated, and it's less sugar and more tang. So it's essentially a different version, but it's less sugar content for kids. But it's actually really good.
It probably tastes close to barbecue sauce, right? Yeah, I bet. Yeah. So yeah,
barbecue sauce needs ketchup it's an actual
ketchup used to be, but then they've uniformed it to this horrible. I don't like ketchup at all because it doesn't. I don't like it at all because it doesn't taste good anymore. So like my French fries, I eat with mayonnaise. That's how.
That's interesting.
That's how gluttonous I am.
But my Texas hat on because I know that you're going to be like, oh, no.
Here we go.
But
Animal Crossing in Texas. That's all we talk about on the Mid-Geek crisis.
Here in Texas, we have Whataburger, which everyone, of course, learns because no Texan would let you know that Whataburger doesn't exist, of course.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Anywho,
we should have a counter. Bing, Whataburger right up there.
They don't use Heinz. They have their own brand ketchup, and it's tangier. It's got a different flavor than Heinz. So for sure, and
it's like harvested right off of the steers from Texas, right?
Right. Just like shave it off the steers. It comes with the steak, No, but honestly, it is a different flavor. It's more vinegary. It's so when any Texan is asked what ketchup they prefer, they're always like, Whataburger ketchup, of course. And people are like, what? And then so now you can actually buy Whataburger ketchup in the store.
Oh my God. I hate it so much. I hate everything about it.
I'm gonna send my bottle.
My favorite Whataburger moment for everyone who cares is I finally had a Whataburger.
In Florida.
Texted Joe and said was unimpressed. And Joe's like, you had it in Florida. And I'm like, do you not fast food? If it doesn't taste the same in Florida, it's not fast food.
That's like the movie The Founder, right? Where did you see that movie?
No.
So it's like the guy that kind of like stole McDonald's from the creator.
Oh, okay, all right.
And Michael Keaton's in it, and he decides to franchise it out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a small chain, and it's barely starting up. So he's starting to sell these franchises, and he's telling them, the original owners that I'm going to control it. So he lost control of one, and then he goes to visit it, and he gets there, and the menu's got like fried chicken, and basically he's trying to get away from the diner style. So basically, because it's so far away from the home base,
mm-hmm.
it's gotten too weird. and so their menu's broken, their food doesn't taste the same, and I think that's what ends up happening. It's too far from Corpus Christi. Now that it's been purchased by someone else, it's different. But I think that's what
wait. Your theory is that Florida's too far away from Texas.
Florida's
its own beast.
Come on, we just had a whole conversation about this online earlier today. Florida's its own thing. We can blame.
So wait, I want to know. Rolls travels a lot. I want to know how his Whataburger in Arkansas was, because I bet it was as bad as Florida, which is as bad as Texas. No. Hot take to the 5 people from Texas watching our show. It's why I got you know what? I've been to a Waffle House in Florida after having it bragged to me. The one Waffle House I went to in Florida had no waffle mix.
Look, man.
That's my experience in Florida.
Fast food in Florida. Come on.
Stop eating in Florida.
Food. That's all you should ever have. Negative 1,000 XP contest. Thank you, Adam. That's right. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So you had Whataburger in Bentonville. How was it?
Come back to us, Rolls. Come back. Maybe he didn't survive the experience. But real Florida. Yeah, there you go. Don't you dare!
Yeah, see, and honestly, Rolls, Waffle House really it matters what Waffle House you go to.
No waffle mix, and the grits were terrible. I will never go into another Waffle House again. I'll eat at a Whataburger first. That's my standard.
That's fair. Florida Waffle House is good.
But the best burgers in the country is White Castle.
In Florida? Right? Weren't you born in Florida, Adam?
That's great. He knows. He knows for sure.
He knows.
You're controversial on the Mid-Geek crisis, talking smash mouth in the Waffle House over here, but whatever, man. They had no waffle mix.
Let's go a little off topic here. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, but we've gotten into the food and just in general, and we're really
it's because we're not allowed outside.
So let's talk about that.
Go, please.
We haven't been able to go out in over a month now, give or take. I've gone out for groceries and whatnot, and places that I've purchased food from, I've gone and pick up and brought home, and sometimes it's not the same experience. Sometimes it's even better. I've gotten some pretty good experiences with some of the places I've picked up food from. But that said, what is the first meal you're going to have when all this is over? Like the one that you want to go out to and sit down and have a good meal at? Like, what's the one thing you want to just like breathe in other people's air? Food.
I mean, probably by the time we're outside, I want to go to an ice cream shop. Like, honestly, this sounds so sappy, and I hate to say it out loud because people might think wrong of me. I want to go out and show my kid a good time outdoors again, right?
Oh, man.
I want to go to Gannon's ice cream shop and enjoy, like, people coming in and buying ice cream. Like, ramen's great. There's a couple good ramen places up here. And then I want to do a date night with Sarah and probably go to a movie theater. The movie tavern. That's probably what I would love to do. Like, I'd like to like eat with people and then watch a movie with people and then maybe go out and throw axes with people. Like, I just want to be around people. Like, stuff I hate doing. Throwing axes, I would hate to do that, but I just need
those down in Syracuse.
Yeah, they have right away, right across from the movie tavern. Get drunk, watch a movie, go throw axes. That's a great.
Man, that's so funny that's like the thing. There's a few of them. There's a few of them in Houston now where you just go and like drink beer and throw axes.
Yep. That's what we have up here. I think that's what it's called, beer and axes or something like that. Bad axe is that what it's called? Yes.
Brew and blades is what I'd call it. There you go.
Tucker. So yeah, that's probably what I would do. Go to a nice ice cream spot that my daughter would love to eat at, and of course. Enjoy that experience. What about you? Where would you go?
What would I do, man?
We'd go, Kendo.
We are gonna go sit down.
That's awesome.
At a good Asian restaurant.
There you go.
Just like have like.
This is making me like so homesick for a past we used to have, man, and the befores where we used to be able to go outside and. Right?
You want to go roller skating? That's a good one.
I want to time travel too, Kendo. Where do you go roller skating in your world?
Oh my god! Growing up,
I'm going to go to Nickelodeon and then go roller skating. I hope I don't lose my skate keys. Like what? Where do you go roller skating? I'm bowling. Bowling might be nice too, right?
But apparently tick season is in full force.
Just enjoy the ticks. At least somebody's hugging you. Go out there and get bit by ticks. At least you're outdoors doing something.
You know what I want to do? I want to people watch.
You want to people watch?
I want to sit down. I told the wife this.
I want to go back to creeping on playgrounds. That's what I want to do.
You know what I do? No, seriously. I want to go sit down at a crowded coffee shop and just like drink coffee with other people and just like hear conversations.
That's what I listen.
You know what I do? No, seriously. I want to go sit down. What's going on there? A crowded coffee shop. How did that happen?
I don't know. That's interesting. Are we repeating a double sound here?
I don't know.
I like it.
I'll remove it. Okay, there we go. We got double. There we go. I cleared it.
A little bit of sound quality issues.
Yeah. No, but seriously, I'll sit down in the coffee shop.
Resumes for a new producer, just for the record.
Do we have a producer picture? Have we brought that up yet?
I haven't put it up yet. Next week.
We'll add it next week. We've got a nice picture of our producer. Every time he messes up now, it'll be great.
Thank you, Adam. Yeah, thanks.
Sit down and just enjoy people, hearing other people's conversations. It's gonna be like that moment where you go on a long trip and then you come back and like grandma's waiting for you when you get off the airport, whatever, and they give you that big hug. Oh, you know that moment where like a family member is waiting for you in the like
Hallmark movie life. Someone's waiting.
Yeah. It's like the end of Love Actually.
Right? Is that what it is? I don't know. I haven't seen it. Because I don't have a heart. I don't even know what these movies are. Isn't that a terrible movie by all accounts?
Absolutely not, sir.
Doesn't he like stalk her until she says yes? Isn't that?
No, she doesn't say yes.
Oh, she doesn't. Okay, perfect then. All right, good. Oh, and baseball. I hadn't considered baseball. Sports. Spoilers, really. So yeah, Friday night in Chinatown. Just go where the people are crowded. Oh, dude.
Adam.
Is there like a video game arcade we can go to?
How dare you, sir?
I thought it was trash. I mean, most of those romantic comedies are trash. If they don't star Sandra Bullock in it, I don't want to hear about it.
Alan Rickman. You can't.
I'm sorry. Hey, Die Hard. That's the only one that matters for me.
Right, but you can't hate on anything Alan Rickman's in.
Want to go see a play in New York City? That's phenomenal. Do you know that Andrew Lloyd Webber is showing his musicals on YouTube? If this is something you care about, nerds. He just did Phantom of the Opera last weekend. I don't know which one's this Friday, but it's entertainment in-house. You can watch a Broadway musical professionally filmed on YouTube on Fridays.
So is it like one that they filmed for the while it was on Broadway, and then, or is it? Like
I don't know if it's on Broadway. It's a professional filming, so it might be like the London stage or Broadway or where they filmed it. But it's like the full-on production on stage. So it's the same actors with the mics and the stage and the lights and all that stuff.
We need to do that. Sit down and watch it.
Yeah. They did Phantom of the Opera last week, and it's available for 48 hours. So they do a live stream at like 2 p.m. and then for 48 hours you can watch the stream of it. So
and again, that's one thing that has changed. One thing that said it couldn't be done, but you put companies and forms of entertainment against the wall, and you pin them down, and they'll find a way to give you what they want. And which is great. So don't tell me that you can't give me this new movie next week.
Yeah, there are like so many corporate lies being exposed now, right?
Right. Can we talk about that for a second?
Broadway plays on YouTube for free, movies for free. Like Roll said, Ken Burns is doing a documentary. I think Ken Burns is also reading children's books on Fridays. I mean, people are getting $2 extra for being an essential employee. Like suddenly in a bad economy, businesses can afford to pay their employees more, right? Like at McDonald's and all those places, they got a pay bump to show up to work. Walmart's paying their employees more. Like it's all these weird things that they said they couldn't do that would destroy the economy.
Yet somehow it's being done.
Somehow, oh, look at this. We five months. Someone must have
searched. Is there less money being created right now?
I know.
Are they spending money to make more money?
No, they're giving us more money so that we spend more money to save the economy. When before they were just keeping the money, right? That's what they were doing. It was working out well. Turnip prices, though, that's what we're all obsessed with, right? Although I would like another Switch, and I guess people are sniping them. There's no way to buy a Switch now. They're just buying them and then putting them on eBay.
No. So yeah, that's something that so Nintendo announced. They had to make an announcement yesterday saying that they're ramping production of the Switch. They had to because they're out.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're hard to find. So if you didn't buy a Switch before the pandemic, right now during the pandemic, it's very hard to find. The aftermarket sales of the Switch
Bonkers.
And me, like every good American who hoards toilet paper, has 4 of them in the house right now. So
you should sell 2. They're like $1,000 if you sold them.
Like, I've got one that I bought for my sister because I helped her buy another one, and so like I'm gonna sell it. So I should sell it right now while the
stonks are up, man. While the turnip prices, prices are up. That's how you do it. That's sell it at cost, right? Like give it to a gamer that wants it, like me. Oh, yeah. I'll pay you. I'll pay you at cost for it. Send it to me. I could use another Switch. There you go. That's the one I want. That's the one I want. That's good stuff. What else we got? What else we got on?
What else we got, man? Like, what have you been up to? So, did Roll20 work again on Sunday for you?
Yeah, Roll20 worked great. Even better this time. I'm getting better with switching the maps. Got some solid reviews from folks. I'm really tired all the time. I don't know. I mean, week 20 into this thing or whatever we are, 500 years into this, I find my energy levels drop very quickly when I start doing things. I also have better Wi-Fi, if fans of the show can tell. Thank you, Adam. Adam recommended a nice mesh system, so now I'm all set up with mesh in the house. So my connection is better. My comfort levels with the system is better, but I'm exhausted. At around like 11 o'clock, usually we played at 11:30. There was a moment where I was like, I can either role play this character or I can make this character get away. I made the character get away just because I was so tired. I couldn't muster up the character energy to do it. Which is telling, right? So I roll 20 sessions. I don't know how the folks do it, where they go 4, 5, 6 hours, but I mean, I find it to be so much more work as a DM, managing all the maps and pulling everything in and out. And also looking from face to face. I think it may be screen exhaustion. Yeah. What about you? What are you playing?
Let's see. What am I playing right now? Well, besides Animal Crossing.
Besides Animal Crossing.
It's like, what am I playing besides Animal Crossing? I don't think I've been playing anything. My kids have been playing a ton of stuff. I mean, they've just been diving deep into Game Pass, and they're playing some stuff that I've never played.
Educational games, I assume?
Nah, man. Nah, it's summer vacation for them since March. Yes, they had school.
It must be even harder in Texas because the weather's nice, right? So, like...
Yeah, it is. I mean,
it snowed today in Syracuse. Didn't stick, but it was cold enough to snow. So, like, that's...
Yeah, no, that didn't happen.
That's the post-apocalyptic world
I live in. It was in the high 80s, mid 80s. And, so they're playing outside in the backyard. They don't get Xbox and all that stuff. They don't get the big TV until I get off of work because they get too rowdy in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
But the kiddo's been playing Animal Crossing. Kiddo's been playing a bunch of other stuff. He got into Stardew Valley. So the youngest one started playing Stardew Valley. So he's been enjoying that. I have been kind of just working. I've been doing a lot of odd jobs here and there. I've been doing a lot of mods. I've got the local retro community kind of not found me, but they've been kind of commissioning me to do a lot of like small little bits and repairs.
That's great.
And so just because word of mouth got out I started doing.
I know a dude who could do this stuff and
That's
so good, man.
Kind of happening. I've been doing my own mods as well. Like today while at work, I just had the soldering iron on.
You mean when you were taking a break from being productive in your work at home, right? Don't ruin it for everybody. We're all working from home, right?
We're all working from home. Yeah. Oh no, the headset was on. Things were happening. But if you doodle while you're talking or whatever, I'm desoldering. So this is an old NES. This is the board of an old NES right now, and I'm in the middle of pulling off the CPU and the GPU or the PPU on it, and going to do some modifications to it. So,
but what sort of modifications are you going to do on that?
It'll have it'll be a high definition mod, so it'll be able to be plugged into a new TV. So.
Okay, all right.
So it'll go up to like 1080p.
Does that not change the lag on the games?
No, not with these modifications. Yeah, they're taking the video directly.
All right. You've explained this before. I remember this.
Yeah, they're taking it like instead of it going to like composite out, it's going directly into a digital encoder and it goes right out to HDMI. So there's no lag. So
why do you have multiple giant old TVs if you can just do a mod like that on your old systems?
So
we're talking retro gaming here.
The look of the game will always change, right? Like, yes, you can play on modern TVs, and I enjoy playing on modern. I'm not a purist in the sense that I will only play. There are many people in the retro game community that refuse to play on new, even though there's all sorts of mods to make systems look better.
Mm-hmm.
They won't do it.
Joe is a purist, right? He's like talking trash. He's like,
I play both sides of the fence. Like I enjoy the new. I like taking it's like I guess the best analogy would be like the car culture, right? Car culture is weird. Like some people like to take old cars and restore them to factory. And
every piece
needs to be original, and they don't like to have any new modern technology in it. And then there are some people that take old cars and modernize them by adding new things to them. They make them run better. They make them run smoother.
That makes more sense to me.
Right. So retro. Yeah. In your opinion, what's better, retrofitting a system to upscale 4K for 1080p, or having an upscale that you can play everything? So there's a little bit of both. So not every system can do an upscale internally, right? So like an NES can. There's a mod that allows you to you literally take the inside two major chips, put them onto this board. The board then kind of passes it through to HDMI and does the upscaling. But then there are other systems, like a good example is a Genesis. A Sega Genesis can only do composite, but it used to be able to do RGB. RGB gives you the video channels in red, green, blue. 3 different channels, very distinct, very clean, as clean as you can get, almost directly from the CPU. And you take that and then put it onto an external upscaler, and then you can get almost the exact same effect without having to like modify the insides of the Genesis. The problem is some of those upscalers can introduce lag, and lag on new TVs is almost always happens. Old systems have to be converted, but if you already give the TV the video it wants, then the lag disappears. Right. To answer your question, what's better? It really depends on the exact system. Like an NES can be modified. Plugging an NES to a modern TV without an upscaler, there's going to be lag. You get this all the time. You get mom and dads or guys that are like, "Oh, I want to play this old system." And they walk into their vintage video game store. They buy the system. They go home and they plug it into their TV with their yellow, red, and white composite cables. They plug it into their 4K TV. It's all stretched, it's all blurry, and they're like, "Wow, this looks like crap." And then they play it and they hit jump on Mario, and they're like, "I'm dying all the time." And it's because there's literally a frame or two of lag. So your muscle memory doesn't happen. Like you can't do the same thing. So you then have to mentally adjust for that. And that's what the retro game community or some of these retro community is doing, is they're taking these old systems and kind of fixing it so that you can plug it in natively into a new TV, and you're still going to get the same 4:3 clean, sharp picture without any of the TV.
And the great gameplay, which is what you remember.
Still have the upscale you're going to bookmark. One of these days I'll pull it. Yeah. There's tons of stuff out there. I mean, one day I'll put up a video or we'll talk about all the different people I follow on the community, and there's I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. Yeah. There's tons of people out there that do this, but there's already tons of groups and people that already do it. I don't need to regurgitate that information. I just want to kind of spread the word that, hey, these guys exist. They create videos on this. There's whole series 101s, like RGB 101 and all this kind of stuff on how to, like, hey, you've got this system. Here's the best way to play it on modern TVs now. And then they kind of list
people have answered the question for you, or all you do is follow the steps. If that's
kind of thing. That's what I've been doing. Because I've been sitting in my office, I've been able to kind of just sit down and work with my soldering iron and just zen, put some music on and work. So that's what I've been doing a lot.
That's awesome.
I've knocked out project after project, which has been nice.
That's awesome. Last week I had a huge town set up for my Dover Forge, and this week I'm taking it down while I'm on the conference calls. I think I'm going to build a giant dungeon this week. So usually I just pull out a bit of pieces, start setting up, and then get off the call, do work, come back, get on a call.
So are you building these just for you right now?
Just for me and for R. We play in them. She likes to hide treasures and run adventures and, just to foster an imagination. If she comes in and she has this big setup, she's immediately setting up dragons and monsters. And usually they all make friends, which I'm like, kiddo, how are you going to get the loot if you're going to make friends? But she'll figure it out.
She makes friends with the monsters?
Yeah, they all make friends. They wind up all living together. This, you can see the sort of castle wall back here, that castle wall. Basically, they all live together. She even put the moat on the inside of the castle. so that the fish can swim in it. It's crazy. Little kids are crazy. The amount of imagination they have.
What's the weirdest monster that's living with her?
I mean, besides the Hello Kitties, I'm gonna have to stand up. 1 second. Let me see.
Have you rolled stats?
Stays the gift economy. That's right. Oh, you know what? Interestingly, she's got the. She pulled in the Dwarven Forge. Oh, is that going to work? Am I holding it the right way?
Like a Naga?
It's just a giant king cobra snake, which is kind of like I mean, this is the painted one from one of their sets, their dungeon set from last year. She just did a report on the king cobra today for one of her school assignments, so maybe that's why she busted out the toy so she can play around. Yeah.
Did she talk about what the cobra is, what kind of snake it is, or?
Well, yeah, she had to do a report, which is basically she had to read a couple pages or a page or two and then write down the habitat and what they ate and what they looked like and things like that. And then what their enemies are. And Adam was there for that. And it's the mongoose, right? This is an important thing to know. What's the enemy of the king cobra? It's the mongoose. So that's what we did. That's what she did. She played over there. Do I play games? So right now, I mean, we play No Thank You Evil. I think I talked about that before on Monty Cook, good friend of the show. Gave that to me, lent it to me. I don't know which. It's in my house. We play that for role-playing games. We play Pretend with Dungeons & Dragons. She doesn't fully get all the rules. And Animal Crossing. I really want to get her to enjoy playing platformers more. She loves watching me play them. So right now we're playing together Shentai, the half genie.
Shentai, yeah.
It's got some objectionable lady images, but it's like nice to play. She finds the story funny.
She's a fun protagonist, though. I mean,
she's a fun protagonist. The game has just the right amount of fart and poop jokes for a 6-year-old, right? So she's really enjoying it. So that's what we've been rocking out, that Shentai half genie game, and that's free on Xbox Live, or Xbox Pass, which is always great.
That game started life. It's a Way Forward game. The company is Way Forward that created it, and that game started off as a Game Boy Color game.
It looks like a game that had been kickstarted. Like it doesn't look like a professional. I mean, I shouldn't say that. It looks like I don't want to call it a bootstrap game, but it looks like it looks really indie.
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, that version of the game, that Half Genie Hero, is basically a remake of the original one, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, so they kept the mechanics of the first one, but there's a few more of them after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
So the newest one is like Shantae and the Seven Sirens, I think, is the newest one.
Oh, well, whatever they did with this one, it looks great. The boss fights are really challenging. There's a lot of like chainmail bikinis. But they kind of make fun of some of it. But it's, she's enjoying watching me play it because she's looking for those poop jokes, which she loves. We all love them, actually.
And platformers are definitely there. It's definitely one of those games where you start it and then you kind of learn how to play. But if you don't jump onto it early on, you're not very good at them. So.
That's what I'm trying to I'm like, you've got to, because she knows I love them, right? Whenever she sees a platformer, I'm playing Ori and she watches me play Ori and I get real frustrated with it. We played Celeste together.
Hard platforming games to kind of get into though early on. I'm trying.
Ori's super hard. I'm trying to find easy ones for her to rock out. Right, Celeste was great, but it was too easy when she played it on easy mode. And but this one seems right in that sweet spot. It's got a little bit of Metroidvania action. It's got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So she knows exactly when I should turn into a crab or when I should turn into a monkey. Like she knows the puzzles already. She just doesn't get the jumping timing. So we'll get there. So that's really what I wanted to start playing. Sibling streamer, those platformer games, because they're so, in my mind, old man cautious here. They're so fundamental to the video game experience in my life. I'd love for her to enjoy platformers like I do.
This weekend I rocked out some older platformers over in the game room, and I wanted to find a game that they would play, but kind of in the Xbox, PlayStation 2, the original Xbox, PlayStation 2 age range.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to turn on the Curious George game. I was like, I heard this was a pretty decent game back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a movie
tie-in. The yellow hat.
Sure. Yeah. It's a movie. It's based off the movie, but it's a game that came out on like GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox. I loaded up the Xbox version because I remember it being actually a pretty good game. Like they said that it was a pretty good platformer. And sure enough, I started playing it. And what's nice is there's no lives. You just die and restart. Kind of like Celeste. Or you just keep going. It doesn't matter. So why even bother? You're just going to keep playing anyway. Why give you a limit of how many you can have?
Exactly.
So, I gave the controls to my kiddo, and he played through the first level, which the level was very, there you go. That's right.
I gave that game room.
I set my game room, by the way. Yeah. It's but he was rocking it out. And it's a 3D platformer, and it's got double jump and all that. And he just like, I came back into the room, and he just rocked it. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And look at him. He's just like leaned back. Look at him. He's just like, "Yep." Yep.
But he's getting spit all over Daddy's nice controller.
Yeah, that's acquired one. Man, he totally rocked it out and just started playing the platform. But what's interesting?
And Rolls, it's a sick game room setup. It really is.
Thank you. He is 6, right? And I constantly undershoot what game he can play. But then I like handed him the controller, and I'm like, let's see if you make it. So I left the room. I was working on something. I came back, and he was further into the game. And then I pulled out my camera, and I was like, let me take a look at this. This is amazing. And I saw him, and he was like, boom, boom, boom. And if I hadn't turned the camera and shown him, I would have believed that it was my 10-year-old as opposed to my 6-year-old.
There you go, yeah.
But it was my 6-year-old, just like lean back as reclined as you can, just like jump, making the jumps, making the double jumps, perfect timing. I was like,
2 more years, you could be like, put down the controller, Daddy. You're a scrub.
I know. I'm waiting for that.
Haven't you been playing for 40 years, noob? What's going on?
Daddy, I'm trying. I'm gonna get there. There's a point, and if you haven't hit that, we get to that point. I mean, gamers will get to that point. I've seen it happen. Like I've seen other friends and whatnot where they've hit a point where they're like this good, and then their kid surpasses them, and then you're just like, it's okay. It's okay that my kid passed me up. I'm excited for that.
Body slam him and tell him move out. Get out of my house.
That's right. Pay your rent. No. It's great. I'm excited. And I am excited for that. Seeing him play that good on that game meant that, and you know what I'm talking about, is being able to play a game of like Mario, Super Mario U on the Switch or whatever without them like dying constantly. That game is brutal. And so like when you're trying to play that with anyone who is less experienced, it's frustrating. You're just like, you're trying to run through the game and they're just like holding you back. You're almost like, get in the bubble and go.
Guacamole too, man. That was my experience. I was like, just transform into the bubble. I'll get through this part, right?
I'll get through this part.
I'll just get through this part.
So seeing my kiddo who's 6 just like rock the platforms and be like, oh my god, are we there yet? Are we getting closer to that moment where we can like actually tag team a boss or whatever? Like it's gonna be.
And we put on Cuphead. And we play 2-player Cuphead. This is what I'm saying.
They play it, and I looked at their save file the other day, and I'm like, they're how far? Holy crap! Like, how are they that far? What is going on? But
that's when I set up the Chivo factory and I score all those points. I start
break them in.
And that's right, Sibling Stream. Look at this. I didn't even see you mention it in the comment. That's what you put on Cuphead.
Kim, that's my sister, by the way, guys. I'm gonna load up Aladdin on
not Battletoads. I don't understand.
I don't want him to quit video games.
Forged
it, yeah.
Break a controller or two. That's how you know they're ready.
Lion King, what's interesting is Lion King was just ported. They just re-released it in like a Aladdin Lion King double pack on the Switch, which is like a double pack.
Did they remaster it, or is it still the same?
All of like the Genesis, the Game Gear, Game Boy, all of them, and then put like all the Aladdin versions and all the Lion King versions all on one like download or one game.
Put crushed me in Cuphead, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. If I tell R that all the time. I mean, you're not wrong, right? You're not wrong.
You're not.
One of the greatest games ever made. I'd buy that remastered on the Switch for sure.
You know, we talk about this game, but couch gaming in general is something that I miss with this social. And one of the best times that we had, and we need to find a way to do it on stream, is if you guys aren't familiar, producer, if you can pull this up, Artemis is a game that we have played. If you're unfamiliar with this, it's such an interesting little game. It's cheap, price, and if you are a fan of the Star Trek style of sci-fi
or Battlestar Galactica,
That's what this is. It is a bridge simulator style game, and it's very lo-fi in the sense that anyone who plays, you group together, you get your friends in a local environment. They can pull out an iPad or an old computer. I think a toaster could run this game. I mean, it's really that old.
I have 2 Vista computers that run it just fine.
Yeah. I mean, you load it up, and what you pick your role: communications, captain, what is it? Engineering,
weapons, helm,
weapons,
and science.
It works right in science, and so all of those particular roles do things, and they're just, and all they see on their screen is like the console for that. So like engineering is all they see is engineering. All they see are sliders and like, giving power, diverting power to shields or weapons, warp core, giving all that stuff. And so what's great is it's such a funny little game. It's old. It's been around since like 2013 is when it was released on Steam, but
I had like a USB copy. You had to buy a DRM free.
Buy it directly from them, and you drop it on a USB stick and hand it to people. And it's super lo-fi, but let me tell you, that is some of the most fun group gaming I've had in a long time.
There's a large community run by it's on Facebook. It's like an Artemis simulator community. They just ran a game because of this isolation and shutdown. They ran a game on like a Saturday night with 8 fully crewed ships. That's 48 people all connecting and playing together. Yeah. So it's I mean, like, I get chills thinking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, how do we join that community?
Right? Yeah, right.
That's what it's about. I even have the Artemis t-shirt. I bought the Tehran Federation t-shirt I should say my wife got it for me for Christmas because she knows I'm a big fan of Artemis. So
what's great about it is, if I remember, the captain doesn't do much, right?
Just orders people around. And drinks every time no one follows his orders. So
drinks every time. But what's great is the captain is an actual role in the game, and they have a computer, and all they do is look at the screen.
Mm-hmm. Just like the card. They go engage.
Do this. Make it so.
It's all about. It's all about. It's good. We need to do it. Adam's going to set it up. I'm very excited for that moment where we can all join and immediately torpedo ourselves or nuke the space station. Or crash into mines, things we have all done together and had a great time. So yeah, I'm the captain now. There we go. or run a mutiny. That would be amazing if we're all on camera and suddenly there's a mutiny. We'll get you on rolls. You'll connect from your phone. You could probably connect from your phone from your hotel room. It'd be great.
Anyone can play. It's really tiny. It's an iOS app too. You can actually download Artemis from the web, from the App Store, from any App Store, Android or iOS, and it connects. But the game is local multiplayer, so you have to jump some hoops to actually make it work online. And obviously, there was 48 people playing this, they got it working.
Yeah, they had some technical things, but they've done a bunch of ships. They've done test runs and things like that. They have a large active community that has solved a lot of their problems, I think.
I've only lived the blindness. Yeah, well, yeah. Some of those, especially if you're engineering and you've got like 5 like sliders, you're like controlling.
And I don't even know if the iPad version works anymore. Last time I checked, it didn't connect to PC ones because their updates have separated.
Oh, come
too
on!
Far now. The iPad doesn't connect there. Yeah.
But yes, I'm just thinking about all the social things. I'm like,
keep it clean. Keep it clean, sir.
I'm feeling nostalgia for a time where I would have like not. I don't know. I would have just been like, meh.
Meh. What?
Like enjoy other people, but like I like being at home. But now I've been at home too long. Yeah. So now I want people. So I'm being nostalgia. I'm feeling nostalgia for like a group setting of some sort.
Yeah, I'd love to go to an arcade and just put a quarter on a machine and play some Street Fighter. Punch people. I'm yearning for the before times. Like I just yearn for it. I'm
gonna go watch some Stranger Things now.
Have you watched the Amazon Prime Stranger Things Tales from the Loop?
How is it?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's much higher. I should say. It's less about nostalgia and more about science fiction. It's great. Okay. It's really good, but it's less about nostalgia. I didn't want to say highbrow because that implies that Stranger Things is not highbrow, but Stranger Things was more engaged with the time period, right? Yeah, so there was a lot more 80s references and 90s references that we could all be like, oh, but but this one's much more about the contemplative science fiction is the best way to put it, and about loneliness. So it's like the perfect time period. It's awesome.
Oh, you are such a yes.
No, but I'm actually designing a role playing game that is exactly this, right? You get to run it. No, I'm kidding. Talk about the zeitgeist, right? If I put out an indie role playing game where you're the manager of a tiger zoo, how shitty would you have to be?
The game.
That's the game.
What kind of game? No. You started this. What kind of game would it be? Like if you could base it off of a game.
If I could base it off a game, why didn't it be like Zoo Tycoon, except it'd only be tigers? Right?
No. I mean that's too digital. I want like a board game. Like you sit down and like everyone runs their own tiger. So that would be great. So you pick your hero, and one would be based off obviously Joe Exotic, and one would be based off of like
you pick heroes.
So they would be like your character, and then like they run the zoo very differently. Like one would be aligned with PETA, and one would be like in Florida with his sex cult, and one would be like
sweet baby Jesus. This would be like a really dense economic game where eventually everyone just feels the need to I gotta sell my tiger cubs for pets. Like I've got to be a bad person in order to make money to pay my rent this month. What's interesting
is the economy's super high, but to you they're like 2,000. This one's worth 2,000, and you're like, a tiger was only worth 2,000. What? Like they thought that was a lot of money. What's going on here?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. See, all right. Hey, we're at the Mid-Geek Crisis. We invent. Sometimes we discuss how and workshop great ideas. Please don't steal them from us.
Oh God! Oh my God! That would be a card. You find Carol Baskin. You got a name or something. You got to name her something completely different, obviously for legal reasons. But her long dead husband or partner. We'd make it a partner. Long dead partner is found. Bones are found, and that you take that.
Or maybe found in another country having swindled money. Maybe they did this. Maybe you just twist the plot enough so you're not sued, since we know that Carol Baskin likes to sue. All of these people like to sue, but we'd like to avoid it. So yeah, it'd be a deep economic game with like one of those like Euro style with resources and turn-based roles and
some resources here.
And the white tiger market and tiger cubs, a lot of competition for how to get that.
Would there be breeding in the game?
Would there be
breeding? Because you want to make the best hybrid.
Well, of course there would be arson in the game. Of course there would be arson, but yes, there would be breeding. Because how else would you have that? And then
while watching this, I learned that there is something called a Thai liger. Yes. A Thai liger. It's like a second, third generation like Thai. I thought ligers were sterile, but then I looked it up, and it's like apparently only the males are sterile, but the females aren't.
Yeah, there's no limits to the amount of evil you can do as a tiger zoo owner. I mean, what else? What are you talking about, dude? Now kiss. Like, how horrible is this? Tiger King is terrible. Yes, there you go. There you go. All hybrids are possible.
Dude, I'm seriously want to workshop this, man. Someone out there's got to be doing it, but we can do this.
We can make a Tiger King economic game.
Like parody game.
Yeah, and we just need to put it out there right now, right?
We can do it. We can do it. We can base this. We can do it quickly. Base it off of already kind of a template that's out there, like a free open source template of some sort.
Yes. I mean, you have the new one, the old one. Which one?
Well, the original trilogy, right? Like, are we talking about like? Can we call it a trilogy? I mean, are we part 1, 2, and 3 with Sam Raimi? Yeah, those are.
That was a trilogy. Yeah,
trilogy.
I remember them fondly.
I think we're on the third trilogy now, aren't we? Or the second one didn't get a trilogy; they only got 1 and 2, and then now we're on 2 movies for the third reboot of Spider-Man. I don't even know anymore.
Is there a third movie coming out soon? Right? We've had 3.
Yeah, we're getting a third sometime soon.
Far From Home, and then
this calls for Galen. Yes, Galen. If you heard this, please let's workshop this. I would, dude. If we could crank out a game and throw it up on Kickstarter.
Little wooden tiger meeples and little white wooden.
It would be great.
We're bad people. We're bad people.
We're bad people, but someone somewhere has to profit off this.
Maybe we've all gone a little bit crazy and locked in our basements and playrooms. Thanks for watching, folks. Right? It's the Mid-Geek Crisis, Crossing Animals.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I love it too.
Yes, guys. Thank you. It's been an hour. We are at that time. Yeah, we'll be back next week. What else?
Maybe sooner if we feel like streaming a board game we're playing, or
we didn't get a chance.
We're testing our new Tiger King based board game, deep economic, real brain burner of a board game.
That would be so good, man. So good. So good. It would be so good.
You're right. I'm gonna see what bug game I can do with there. Yep.
It can be done.
Let's do it. Thanks, Double A.
Best of the 3 before I leave. Best Spider-Man out of the 3.
Thanks, Kendo. Thanks, Rolls.
Which is the best Spider-Man out of the
3? The first one. No, which is the one he does the weird dance in the street? Is that the third one?
3.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Best one. Best one is 3. Absolutely.
It's the only one I remember.
Everything else is forgettable, but him dancing in the streets, remember.
That's what I remember.
Part 3 is the best one. Guys, take care. Episode 74 in the can. I love you. Wash your hands.
Yeah, be kind, everyone.
Be kind. Mwah.